We are going to discuss about the J unit. So first of all, now consider you have one applications, right? And you want to test these applications. Okay. So we will divide that application into an multiple functions and we will test each and individual functions. Okay. This is nothing but your this is nothing but your J unit. Now consider, now simply here we have a method 1. This is the method 1. Here we have a method 2 and here we have a method 3. So these are the methods we have. If you want to test, okay, like that, if you want to separate this methods and you want to uh, execute it, you want to test it, then you can simply use the J unit, right? We have to use the J unit. So it's a developer responsibility. So like we are performing the J unit, right? So this is the developer responsibility. Like why we are using the J unit? Because of when you will run, that means whenever you will write the code, okay, in your backend code, it will execute in your local, okay, but when you will try to run on the AEM instance, that means in the cloud, okay, that time it will throws the error when you are in the deployment state, okay, so that time it will throws the error, it won't run, it will says like at least 52% coverage, code coverage we need to accomplish it. Okay, at least whatever the code you have written, it may be 100 lines of code you have written it, right? So at least 52 of line we have to complete. We have to test at least 52 lines. Then only it will run in your deployment. Okay, when you will deploy it, okay, on the server or somewhere, that time we need to use the test. That means we have to perform the JUnit testing. Then only it will run. Okay, so basically here each and individual module it will test. Okay, so basically if you are written here method 1, so for this method 1 we will define the J unit, right? And for this method 2 as well and for this method 3 as well. Okay, so there we don't have any AEM instance. Okay, so here basically we don't have any AEM instance. That means what we can say, if you want to perform the J unit, you want to develop or you want to write the code for the J unit, for that they have provided what extension, that is AEM context extensions. AEM context extension class they have provided. So with this is because of this extensions only, okay, because of these extensions only we can mock the object, we can mock the AEM objects. Now what does it mean by the AEM mock object? This is nothing but the duplicates only. Okay, this is nothing but the duplicates only. Now consider, when here we don't have a CRXD properties, we cannot access the CRXD, right? We cannot access the CRXD. So how we can get the same environment just like a CRXD? So for that we just simply create a duplicate. Okay, we just simply creates one duplicate. Okay, so for that we have to use this AEM extension. So this is the AEM extension. It provides the way to write the mock objects. Okay, so basically it is an extension for the JUnit 5 and it's allow us to create a context object. So here we have one object that is AEM context. Okay, so here we have one object that is AEM context. So you can simply use this AEM context and after that you can easily use the mock object. So if you need the resource resolver, now here you just simply have to use the context dot resource resolver. Now you got the resource resolver. Okay, so this is your duplicates object, right? This is your just simple an object. Now this is the object you are getting from this context. Okay, from this AEM context. Okay, so how this possible, how we are getting this AEM context? Because of this AEM context extension. So simply here without AEM instance as well you can execute this one. Here we have defined it, come here, here it has mentioning this AEM context extension is just simple an extension for your JUnit 5. Okay, that provides a way to run your AEM JUnits. So this is the AEM JUnit test cases you can run with your mock AEM object, and mock AEM object is nothing but your resource resolver. It may be your resource, okay, it may be a request, it may be a response, it may be anything, okay, but it gives a permission. Simply you can run it your J units, okay, but before that you have to create this AEM context. You have to create this AEM context, and using this AEM context only we can create the objects, mock objects we can create it. Okay, so this is the guy. It's allow us to create this mock objects. Okay, so it may be a resource observer or it may be a resource. So I'll just give you one example. Come here, and here where we have a, okay, so basically here we have a source test Java, right? This is the source test Java we have. So simply you can right click over here. Rest, I think so. Okay, so here inside the servlet, I am just simply creating JUnits. Okay, so how we can create a JUnit? You have to go inside the create. Here we have to click on the others, and here you have to select JUnit. Hit enter. Here we have a JUnit test case. After that, just simply next click on it. Once you will next click, here you have to fill the informations, right? So here I just simply giving a AEM context example. Just simply. Now how we can create a AEM context, we'll see. Okay, so just remove this one simply. Now this is, we have a class simply. Now I'm just registering by using a extend with. Okay, so if you want to define the extension, you have to use one annotation, that is extend with. Just import this one. So right now we are using a JUnit 5, right? We are using a JUnit 5. We have a JUnit 4 as well. So if you want to use the JUnit 4, you have to use the run with annotations. There you have to use the run with annotations. So here AEM context extension dot class. Okay, just simply import it. Yeah, this is the thing we have imported. Now we have to create a AEM context. Okay, so we have, now we just simply consider we got the environment. This is the environment we got it to create our duplicate CRXD, right? Now we have to create the objects. Okay, so for creating an object, we need a AEM context. AEM context we got it. Here you can give the object of the context is equals to new AEM context here. Done. Now import this. Now plainly I am defining. Here also you can define a lot of resource resolver permissions. If you need a JCR mock, you can just simply use a JCR mock here. Okay. So this is the thing, we got this context, right? Now what I'm doing, now I just simply want to test one method. Okay, and this method is a public void and just simply AEM test. So this is the method, I just simply want to test it. Okay, so if you want to test this method, you have to use @test annotation. Okay, we have to use this @test annotations. Okay, and I have already told you everything is a duplicates here. It's a mock. Okay, so now if I want to create a resource right now, so all these things who will provide this context. So here I just simply mentioning context dot create, and after that what I want to create resource. So just simply mention it. Okay, now I'm just creating a resource. So here content, after that here I'm just defining anything just like a resource one. That is nice. Here after that, here I'm just defining the property, and here I'm just defining the property value. So I just simply have created the resource, and in this resource I have created the property, and here we have a value. Okay, so this is the first one. Again, I have to create the second one. So just simply context dot create, and here we have to create a resource. After that, you can mention the content, and here we have a second resource I have created. Okay, after that, here you can define the property. So this is the second resource. Okay, so property one only I have defined. Here we have defined the value 2 this time. Here I'm just creating a property 2, and again here I'm just defining a property 3. Sorry, value 3. You can define the value 3 here. Okay, this is the thing we have defined. Again, you can define another one like context dot create, and after that here I just defining the resource. You can just take the content. Here we have a resource 3. After that you can define the properties. Property. Here I just defining the property 1. Here I'm just storing the value. This time I'm just storing a value 4. Okay, here again you can define a property 2, and here I'm just defining a value 5. The same thing you can just simply copy, and instead of this 2 we have to define here 3 and value 6. Okay, so here what we have created, resource. Okay, this is the duplicate, or we have, this is the mock resource we have created, right? After that I just simply want to check it. Okay, so now this is the resource. Now consider one environment it has created, and inside this environment it has created the resources, right? By using this one we have created an environment, and after that here we have created the resources. Now if I want to access these resources, how we can access it? By using a resource resolver, right? Resource resolver, no? So if you need a resource resolver, this is also a dummy object, mock object. How we can get it? Context dot resource resolver, right? Just simply take the resource resolver. We got the resolver. We got the resolver now. By using a resolver, now you can easily get the resource. So here we have to define the get resource, and you can get the resource. Which one you want? So in this case, I need a content dot resource one. Okay, this is the resource, I got it, and here I just defining the resource one. Okay, this one I defined now, and resource one we got it. Now the thing is, what we are doing here, we are we are just testing it. Okay, just in this case I'm just showing the this not null, we just simply have to remove it. Okay, so in this case I'll just simply showing like this am context example. Okay, and inside that we have created a method, and we have created our own resource, and here we have we got the resource, and after that once you got the resource, now you can check it. Okay, so for the checking, here we have a assert equals. Assert equals one method is there. Here we have to pass two parameters. First one is the expected, and second one is the actual. So this one is our expectations, and this is the actual output it has coming. If the both is matched, then it will return the true. Now our test case has successfully. But if it will not return, then our test case is failed. Okay. But in the JUnit 4, in the JUnit 4, we will directly define like this. Assert equals, that's it. But in the JUnit 5, we have to use the assertions. Here we have one class assertion dot assert equals. Okay, here this is the class we have to define, that is assert equals. What is the value we have here? Value 1, right? This is the resource one we have, no, first one. This is the resource we have. Okay, and in this case we don't have a current resource. Okay, these three resources it has stored. If you need a current resource, again you can just do here somewhere we have a current resource, right? Current page also we have, here we have a current resource as well. You can set it, define inside this, that's it, your current resource is set. So whenever you will get the resource, there is no need to define anything, you will get the current resource, right? But here I haven't defined it. If you want to define the current page as well, if you want to define the current page, otherwise here we have a resource, right? This is the resource we have, and from this resource if you want to convert into one page, you just simply have to do one thing, resource dot adapt to, and here you have to mention the page dot class. Okay, that's it, you got the page as well. Okay, so in this way we can do it. Now I'll just simply showing. Okay, so here expected, and after that what we need, actual. Okay, so here I'm just removing because it won't apply in the JUnit in JUnit 5. We have to use the assertion, and here I need a value 1. So what I'm doing here, so we have a resource 1. So this is the resource 1, right? From where it has coming? From this content resource 1. Where is this content resource 1? This one. How we can get this content resource now? Firstly, we got the resource 1. Okay, from that we know that we have a properties. So this is the permission we have to get first of all. So here you can just simply use get value map, and you can get the properties. Okay, so when you will define here property 1, here this is the property 1, what you will get? You will get the value, no? And value in this format, string. So here we have to use string dot class. Got it? So here again I'm just telling, so first of all we got the resource, right? Resource 1. After that what we are doing, we are just taking the permissions of the properties. After that we are getting the property, and this is the property we got. Okay, and this is our actual output. So in this property, whatever the value is there, it will return. So in this property 1, what is the value we have? Value 1. So this is the value it will return. And what is our expected value 1, and this one is also value 1. What it will return? True, right? It will return true. So this condition is passed. Okay, again I just simply want to check for the resource. This is the test 2. Okay, so for the resource 2 I need to check now. So firstly we have to take the resolver, not a yeah, not a result, yeah, resolver we have to take resolver, and after that get the resource, and this time we'll get the content 2. Sorry, resource 2. This is the resource 2, we got it. Just mention the name, that is resource 2. Okay, once you get the resource 2, from this resource 2 what we need? Okay, so here again we will just add the assertions. After that assert equals, but before that we'll simply do one thing. We can also check it. Maybe if this resource is null, then we have to check no it is null or not. So here you can simply define assertions dot assert not null. Here you can mention it resource 1. If it is not null, okay, if this is the assertion, this is the resource 1, it is not null, then only you can just simply do one thing, get the value map properties. Okay, so here it will return the true. This case will be pass, this case will pass, and after that this one also pass. Here we are doing for the resource 2 now, but before that just simply check that resource 2 assertions dot assert. Okay, so here assert not null. Okay, and here we have to define the resource 2. Simple. I think it's simple only. Okay, here after that once this one is done, here you have to define the assertions, and here assertions, and after that asserts equals assert equals, right? Here we have to define assert equals, and our expectation, this time our expectation is value 2. Okay, so how we can get? Here we have to define the resource 2 dot get value map, after that get, and here we have to mention the property 1. Again property 1 we have to mention, and in the form of string. This is the thing we got. Now we have to do for the see, for this one we have done, right? Now we have to do for this property 2 and this value 3, right? So how we can do that thing? Assertions dot, yeah, assert equals, here you can mention the value 3, and after the value 3 you can just mention the resource 2 dot get value map dot get, and here you have to mention the property 2, and here string dot class. That's nice. Now the same thing we'll do for the resource 3 as well. Okay, so basically here we have the resource 1, right? We have done with the resource 1, resource 2, and now resource 3. Here how many value we have? 3, I think. This is the property 1, property 2, and property 3. So firstly we have to take the resource 1. How we can take? So we have a resolver, right? And after that get the resource. This time slash content, right? Slash content resource 3, right? After that once this one is done, here we have to get the resource 3. Okay, resource 3 we got it. Resource 3 dot, that is okay. Resource 3 we got, and we'll check now this one is null or not. Okay, so yeah, assertions dot assert not null, right? Assert not null. Okay, and here you have to mention the resource 3. That's we have mentioned it. Again just simply paste it here. Assertions dot, we have the asserts not equals. Okay, this is the value 2 we have. This time what we need? We need a value, where it is, yeah. So firstly we have value 4, value 5, and the value 6. Okay, so here I'm just mentioning the 4, and here we want to value 1, right? This one is nice. In this case what we need? 5. Come here and just simply paste it, and here we have to mention the value 6. Okay, so here we have property 1, here we have property 1, and here we have property 3. That's nice. Okay, now try to execute it. Okay, resource 3 also we got it. Now just right click here and simply you have to run as. Okay, after that what we have here, J unit test. Just simply click on it. Try to run, maybe we'll get the error because here we have defined the resource 2. Okay, so in this case it will fail. In this case it will fail. So here we have a resource 2 and here we have a resource 3. So here we have to define the resource 3. See here what it is saying, like here you see. Now this is the thing. See, actually what's our expectation? Value 4 and it is returning the value 3. So inside this now here you see resource 2. After that here we have value get value map and inside this property 1. Where is the resource 2 now? Check the resource 2 where it is. Yeah, this is the resource 2. What we have here? Value 2. Yeah, and what we are expecting? Value 4. Double click on it, it will open. Here you see. So basically here we have value 4 and our actual value is 2. That's why it is getting an error. So instead of that you can simply come here, check, change this one. Inside this 3 we knows that, oh, not this one. Okay, now try to execute it. So if you want to run and you want to check whether it is throwing error or not, then you have to run as. Okay. Yeah, so here you see in this case it has executed successfully. Okay, so which method it has executed? This one. This is the method it has executed, right? This one. This is the method it has executed. But now if you want to check the code coverage, that means how many lines it has executed. Okay, so it has executed entire line or it's more than 15 or it's less than 50. So you can just simply check the code coverage area. Here we have a coverage as and just JUnit test. Yeah. So here you see. So this is our search project, okay, right? This one is our project, and here you see this is our test class, and where we have defined this test class inside our servlet, I think so, right? Inside this servlet, this one is ours, right? So this is the 100% it has completed, okay? And here we have 140 lines, 145 lines. So basically, you are seeing here 49s only, but internally it will execute on other classes as well. Because of that reason, it is executing. We have a 140 lines, okay, and from this 140 line how many it has missed? So it has missed 0, okay, and after that total instruction it has executed, that is 145. So all this instruction it has executed successfully, right? This is the thing. After that here you see here we have created only one method. This is the one method we have created. Now just simply just define am resource 1. So this is the resource 1, just define it. Now create the another one, another class public method, public void, and here you can just define am resource 2, and here we have to mention the test, right? And here also we have to test it, no? So yeah, here we have to use the test. Yeah, that is nice. After this the 2, where is the 2 code we have defined? Here, right? Just simply cut, come here and just simply paste it. And again the same thing, we have to use the @test public, yeah, public void, and here, yeah, am resource 3. Okay, where is the 3? This one. Just cut this, come at the down hand side and just simply paste it. Okay, this is the thing we have defined. Now here we are getting the error. Now in this case my scenario is, what I want is, okay, so in this scenario what I want, here I have a 3 methods, right? How many methods we have? Three methods. So this three, before these three methods, each and individual time I want to execute one setup method, right? And all these cleanup code, or you can say all this initialization are already defined inside that. So firstly, I need a method who will execute before each and individual method. So whenever compiler will come and try to execute this resource one, before that I just simply want to execute one method, that is public void and setup. This is the method I just simply want to execute. So if you want to execute, then we have to define here one annotation, that is before each. Okay, so this is the annotation we need. Simple. And after that we knows that everywhere we are using the resolver. Here you see everywhere. Here also in this class also we are using a resolver, and where it is here as well, right? So instead of that, you can simply use this here. Here you can just define it. Once you are defining here as a, so this one is also a local variable, right? So we have to define as a class level. We have to define as a class level. So simply you can just define here. So how we can use that one? If you need any out of the box, you want to define it. For that you have to define the mock. Okay, this is the mock, we have to define it. And here I need a resource, a resolver, and here I just defining the resolver. That's it. Now you can remove this one. Done. So firstly here we just simply have declare it, right? And here what we have done, we have initialize it. See that error has gone now. This error has gone. Why we are defining all these method resources here? Instead of that, you can just simply go here, and here you can define it. Okay, so in this way we have defined it. That's it. So now what this thing is done. So what it will happen is, before executing this method will call. This method will invoke, and once this method will invoke, our resolver will store inside this resolver. After that, this context will create. That means this the resource will create. Okay, so basically if you want to create anything, just like for the particular what we can say, here we have a package. If you need a particular package and after that you need a classes, so you have to define this particular, yeah, add models for package. The same thing if you need like classes also, you need add for classes. So we have a classes as well, right? We have a classes as well. So this is the class we have. If you want to, from the particular package, if you want to register any class, you can register it by using this add models for classes, right? Here we have a before each method, before only we have method, after before all methods we have. That means all this method is executed, after that before all method will call, right? Just like that, after each, that means once this one is completed, after that if you want to perform any action, this annotation also we have. Okay, and we have a difference between the JUnit 4 and the 5, but before that we'll just try to execute this. Here you see 100 line it has executed, total it has covered it, right? Oh, now it has executed. Here you have to see, whenever you will see green, that means it has executed. So it has covered all this line. So when you will click here, you will see this one. So it has covered it, right? Okay. And here we have lot of difference between the JUnit 4 and the JUnit 5, right? So first one, when you maybe get the task like a migrate. Okay, we have to the code it has written in the JUnit 4 and we have to use in the JUnit 5. Okay, so maybe this works you will get, this tickets you will get. So what you have to do is, you firstly you have to change the dependency. So whatever, some maybe some dependency will support to the JUnit 5. So you have to remove the JUnit 4 dependency from the POM file, and after that you have to add JUnit 5. Okay, after that it has a, in the JUnit 4 we have a drawback. Just like that, it will support only Java 7 features. Okay, only it will support the until Java 7. But if you want to use the Java 8 features, then you have to go with the JUnit 5, right? we have to go simply in the JUnit 5. In the JUnit 4, you can just simply use the assert equals directly. Okay, if you want, or if you want to find out assert equals. So here what we will do, we'll mention the expected here. We'll mention the expected, and after that we'll mention the expected parameters, right? So if you want to check it, you can check. If you want to check like it has null or not, asserts not null. If you want to check like if it has written the null value, then only we want to execute it. So here you can mention the assert null. Okay, assert null you can mention it. Yeah, so in this way we can do that things. That's nice. Okay, in the same time, so consider like here we have assertions, right? And in the assertions we have asserts all. Assert all we have. Okay, so inside that if you want to execute more than one, okay, if you want to execute more than one, then you can just use this asserts all, and here you have to define the lambda expression and your task, whatever task you have. Okay, so you can define here more than one. Okay, just like that, in the JUnit 4, in the JUnit 4 we'll use one annotations, that is run with. Okay, this is the annotation we use for extensions, right? So if you want to add an extension, AEM context extension or something, you have to use the run with. Okay, but in the JUnit 5, what we have to use? Extend with. Okay, and here you have to define the extensions, right? Here we have to define, and here we know that we have a, in our JUnit 5 we have a before each method, right? There we have a before all methods. I think before only method is there. Okay, here in the JUnit 4 we have a ignore method if you want to ignore anything. Okay, in the JUnit 5 the same thing, but we have a disable method, right? Okay, there we have in the JUnit 5 we have a before each, and in the JUnit 4 we have a, yeah, JUnit 4 we have a before, and in the JUnit 5 we have a before each. Here in the JUnit 4 we have a after. After method is there, and in the JUnit 5 we have a after each method. Okay, these are the methods, these are the annotations we have. Here I think I have defined one example. So consider now this one I have written for the class, right? So inside this servlet, here we have a servlet. Here you see where it is, somewhere we have a JUnit servlet, right? This is the JUnit service. This is the servlet we have written it. After that, for this servlet, if you want to create a class, you just simply have to right click over here, create, and create a JUnit. Here you have to create a JUnit. Okay, so once you will create a next, automatically it will create a class for you. You just simply have to finish it. You have to click the next, and here this many of methods we have. So from this method, if you need anything, you have to click and you have to finish. Automatically it will create, in which package it has stored this one now, inside the servlet, right? Inside the servlet package it has stored. So it will come here inside this source test Java, and inside this package here we have somewhere servlet, there it will store, automatically it will create there. Okay, here it will create. After that, so here we got the AEM context, we have defined it. After that, if we know that for the servlet what we need a request, right? We need a request, no? So how you can get the request? So simply they have provided it. You just simply have to use mocks link HTTP servlet request and mocks link HTTP servlet response. And we need the methods from this JUnit. Okay, this is the class we have defined is, right? This servlet, from this we need a methods, no? So we need the object for this particular class. So you can inject it by using this inject mock. Okay, you can get it by using this inject mock. After that, here we have a class I have defined, and this is the variable for this class, right? After that, what we have defined, before each method, that means here we have a two or three method. Before each method, if I want to execute, if I want to execute any method, then you have to define this annotations, right? And here I have declared it, here I have initialized. Okay, basically what we have done, Here we have declare just simply, here we have initialize it. Okay, and here we have a request and here we have a response. And we know that this is the dummy object, we got it from this context, a request and the response. And here we are storing. After that, here this is the method we have, right? So this is the name of the method, I have defined it. This is the method. After that, here we have a one method, create page in JCR mock. This is the method I have defined. Here you see, this is the method we have. And here I just simply have created a page. So this is the page and this is the description and this is the title. Here this is the page path of the page. This is the descriptions and this is the title. Here description and this one is also description and this one is the path of your page. Right? We got it. Now simply it's very easy. So here inside this under text we know that it is an object for your this class, right? So we got simply an do get method by using this object, right? We got it. And here we have passed our dummy object, that is request and the response. Here you see where we have created here request and the response, and globally we have defined here. See, request and the response, globally we have defined it. After that, once you will do these things, here I just simply taking the response in the form of string. So whatever response, this is the do get method, whatever response it has returning, where this response will store inside this only, in the response object. So we are just taking all the response and where we are storing inside this string. After that, just simply we are converting into an we have created the object, and inside this JSON object, inside this object mapper, we are adding this one. Okay, and here we got it. Okay, now we have created the page, right? So here we have a actual object, this is the object we have, right? And here we are getting the page. What we are doing here, we are simply getting the page. So this is the zeroth page. Where is the zeroth page? Here, this one. This one is the it won't take the first one. Okay, it won't take the first one. Which one it will take? This one. There's a second one it will take. So after that, once it will take this value, where it will store inside this first. That means what it has happened here, this is the path, this is the description, and this is the title it has stored where inside this first item. Okay, the second, in the second item, second one it has stored, in the third item it is stored second index, right? Now in the first item, if we have a path, which one? This is the path, right? This is the path, right? This is the path we have. This is the path, no? And this is what? Title. So we are just simply fetching. We are just simply fetching it. If the first item, if it has a path title, then it will return true. This condition will execute. Just like the first item has a page path, then it will return true. Just like the same we are doing for everything. We are doing for the everything. And here we have created the object. Just try to execute this, run as JUnit. Yeah, it has executed. Here you see, it has executed. Everything it has executed. Everything. Instead of German, if you define German 2 and just try to save it, yeah. So here the expectation is, yeah, the expectation is the German and we got the German 2. So this is not a good thing. So basically, this is the basic of the JUnit. You can perform the JUnit on your services, to the query builders, to the JCR SQL, to everywhere, and they have provided the method as well.